Guys, our stock market portfolio has absolutely been killing it. We are up over $5,000 in this very last week. Now, you all know I'm lying. Y'all all know I'm lying. It has been rough. So if you did see my last portfolio update, I think I was sitting somewhere around $20,000 roughly. Well, I guess just to say it in simple terms, that is no longer the case. I am sitting somewhere between 18,500-ish, 400 roughly. So we have lost about $1,700 since our very last update, but that doesn't tell that we did have some super good buying opportunities. Over the last couple of weeks, I have been, kind of spreading out my portfolio, kind of just trimming it down a little bit. You guys know I've been in this big movement where I've just been kind of trying to get my portfolio just right where I want it. I feel like I've never really been satisfied with it, and I think I'm almost to the point that I'm very comfortable with where I'm at. So I've been trying to work on that, increasing shares in some positions and decreasing shares in others. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at it, and let's see exactly what moves I made over the last 2 weeks in my Robinhood stock portfolio. So as you can see here, it has been an absolute struggle. Actually, now that I do see it, I didn't know that I went up after hours, so seeing a little bit of a gain after hours is definitely nice. But as you do know, like I said earlier, if you did watch my last update, I am down about $1,400 in the last 2 weeks or so. In the last week, I am down about $975. For the month, only $488. 3 months, I'm actually still up $457. 1 year, I'm up $2,396, and that's about what I am up for the overall. And that's honestly not too bad. I am not too mad about it. Even though it has gone down a good bit, we are still seeing some tremendous gains. Now, I did want to remind you guys that I did have my M1 Finance account that I sold out on. I was at a $500 profit in that account too. So that takes our overall profit to right under about $3,000. And considering that I only invested about $15,000, seeing somewhere around a 15 to 20% gain is definitely amazing, especially in 1 year. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at it. So at one point, I was up to exactly $20,118. That did, that came to a close. That little good run we were having definitely came to a close pretty hard. I fell all the way down about $1,500 roughly. But like I said, again, we are still up a significant amount, and I cannot complain all that much, especially seeing the gains that we have seen over the last year. So now that I have scrolled down, you can see that my portfolio looks much different than it used to. I actually pull up a side-by-side just to show you guys what it used to look like. It has gone through some massive changes. I've been trimming this thing down and getting it just how I want it. I used to want to be that investor who just had dividend growth value stocks, 10 of each, like a big 25, 30 stock portfolio. And I just came to the realization that it wasn't for me. I felt like I really wanted to hone down on 5 to 10 stocks and just really focus on those ones and focus putting my money in places that I truly trust and am fully 100% comfortable with. And that is exactly what my portfolio is at right now. I felt like with a portfolio under $100,000 that I don't want to have more than 10 stocks. I think that kind of somewhere having, just like a balance of exactly how much you put into each sector is very important, because if you overspread yourself in certain, like say if you've put too much of your money into tech recently, you've seen very, very significant losses. So I do believe that it's important to diversify, but I feel like it could be detrimental to go ahead and just over diversify to the point that you're investing in companies that you're not comfortable with, or you're investing in the companies that you don't know much about, or just anything like that. I feel like if you're putting your hard-earned money into a company that you should fully trust it. And with that being said, these are the 5 companies that I truly believe, I have full, faith and long-term faith, and I'm super duper comfortable with holding them for the next decades and decades to come. First up on the list, we have Store Capital. So as you can tell, my position in Store Capital, I did actually increase. Originally, I had 221.21 shares in the last video. I did increase that about 23 shares up to 245. That is absolutely, you guys know, if you are OG, Darren Jackson, I know you're watching, you guys know how much I love Store Capital. This is a stock that I have been fanboying about for a very, very long time now. I've been talking about them on this channel since the very beginning, and that is not changing anytime soon. So my average cost is currently sitting at $19.32. Now, originally my average cost was $16, but as I have been increasing my positions in them, I've been buying a lot more shares of their company, and so that has naturally increased my average cost. The market value of my holdings in Store Capital are $6,582, and it holds up a 35% stake in my portfolio, which is definitely significant, but I'm fully comfortable with it and I'm okay. My total return is $1,843, which is about a 38.89% return. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. That is just, that number blows my mind. At one point before I did invest another like $1,000 or so into them, my return was sitting at about 50%. I had invested $4,000 and I was up about $2,000. So just seeing what Store Capital has done for me, and just the way that this company has gone from being at such a low that it was to growing out of this and being such a strong team, it's honestly beautiful. It's an amazing thing to watch, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for them. So we are going to just go ahead and hold off and just kind of wait and see what happens with Store Capital. My long-term goal for them is hitting 500 shares. So seeing that I'm approaching halfway is definitely a good sign, and it makes me motivated to want to go ahead and keep adding on, keep increasing those positions, and try to work my way up to that 500 share mark. Next up on the list, we have Apple. Now, as you can see, I have just been boosting all of my money that I have extra in the Apple. I'm currently sitting at 45.14 shares. Now, Apple has definitely been going through it recently. They've been struggling a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. Everyone kind of knew that a tech crash was coming at some point. The run that they had been on for so long was just so strong that we knew that they had to take a little break, have a little pullback, and then keep the momentum going. So I do hope that today was kind of a telltale sign that we will see some increases going on today. So we'll go ahead and we'll see what's going on with Apple. So I'm currently sitting at 45.14 shares at an average cost of $104.01 per share. That holds about $5,005 of market value in my portfolio, and that takes up about 26.89 of the stake in my portfolio. So I honestly am not phased at all by this dip that we've seen in Apple recently. Like I said, I feel like everyone's minorly knew that this was coming, and it didn't really shock anyone. So whenever I saw this dip, I took that as an immediate like, okay, now there's a time to go in. These stocks just go crazy all the time. They go up, 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 up. So realistically, everyone knows that they have to take these breaks. If you're not taking advantage of these dips and you're not buying the dip and everything like that, you're kind of missing out. That's my honest opinion. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, and you shouldn't take this as financial advice, but I truly believe that whenever you see these stocks dropping 10, 15, 20%, and we all know how strong of companies these are, I have full faith that Apple is going to be around for a long, long time to come. As you have probably seen my videos from last week, I'm a major fanboy of Apple. And so whenever you see that they are on sale, it is the perfect time, in my opinion, to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what I did. I've increased my positions over 20 shares, and that has given me a return of $310.72, which is about a 6.62% return. Now, the crazy part about that is I've actually went negative today. I bought more shares while I was down around here. And just today, I saw that growth of about 6%, so I definitely cannot complain about that at all. My next goal for Apple is to get up to 50 shares. I'm only 5 shares away, so whenever I go ahead and invest another $500, $600 into them, I should hopefully hit that, and we'll see where we are from there. So next up on this list, we have one of my absolute favorite stocks on this planet. Now, I'm not a big dividend investor, but this is definitely one that I am holding on for the long term, especially for their dividend. Now, the crazy thing is you can actually see that they did just announce a dividend pay date on October 1st. I'm going to be receiving $25.95 because I hold 63 shares at an average cost of $45.31. The market value of my holdings of Coca-Cola is about $3,100, and that takes up about 16.73% of my portfolio. Now, I have not seen the most insane gains from Coca-Cola, but they are slow and steady, and that is all I can ask from this company. I know that I won't be seeing just tremendous 10, 15, 20% gains every single month from them, but I do know that, or I have faith in that, the fact that they will continue to grow and do what they can to work their way up and just continue being an amazing company. And with that will obviously come some returns in the stock. So currently I'm sitting at a $246 return, which is about a little bit over 8.5%. And I cannot be mad about it at all. I'm looking to get between 8 and 10% return from these stocks every single year. And Coca-Cola is performing absolutely phenomenally whenever compared to that number. So I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to keep adding into this position. Like I said in my last video, I would love to see this thing hit 100 shares. That's my goal right now. I really do believe that I'll see that 100 share mark sometime by the end of this year. So definitely stick around and see if I am able to hit that mark. Next up on the list, we have Microsoft. Now, as you guys know, I will go on a very maniacal rant about Microsoft and how much I like them. So we're not going to get into all that. I'm just going to jump straight into it before I waste a lot of your time. So right now I have 11.36 shares of Microsoft at an average cost of $199.19. That takes about $2,321 in market value, or about 12.47% of my portfolio. So Microsoft is obviously one of the companies that that I have full faith in, especially whenever it comes to the tech world and everything that's going on right now in the pandemic. Microsoft Teams and all that are being utilized by the majority of universities. So with that being said, I do believe that that will continue to affect them and grow their stock price higher and higher as they do receive more revenue, as their service department increases, and they continue to do amazing things. I'm currently only seeing a $56.91 return from them, which is about 2.51%, as they have had a pretty rough month. We can go ahead and see here that they have fallen from being up about 8% to being down about 5%. So that 13% drop has put me very close to my average cost. I'm not all that mad about it. Honestly, I do believe that I bought in at a pretty high time, or I added the majority of my shares at a pretty high time. So it doesn't really shock me seeing that I am getting pretty close to my average cost. If it does continue to get any lower, or if it continues to just stay where it is, I'm definitely going to increase that position. I would like to see somewhere around 20 to 25 shares sometime within the next maybe 5 or 6 months. I think that's a good mark, and I feel like at that point I will be very comfortable with the size of a holding that I have in this company, and I feel like it'll be a major player in my overall portfolio. And crazily, it's crazy that these are the only companies that I have, but last up on the list we have Aflac. Now, currently I have 43.66 shares of Aflac at an average cost of $34.63. This takes up about 1,589 market value, or about 8.54% of my total portfolio. Now, Aflac is one of the companies that I also have a very good feeling about. I feel like in the long term they have a lot of potential, and so with that being said, it is definitely a company I'm going to continue to increase my position in. Now, again, this is not going to be a company that I'm really just going to pump a lot of money into, but it's definitely going to be one that I slowly increase this position over the next years and years to come. I feel like in their field they are one of the major top players, and that they have some of the best management and financials of all of their competitors. And so with that being said, insurance is always going to be around. People are going to need to see the little Aflac duck every now and then on the commercials. So with that being said, Aflac is definitely one of those stocks that I plan on building up. Their dividend is honestly not bad at all. Let me remind myself, it is 2.94. So seeing a little bit extra of a gain like that, they see pretty good yields over the yield gain that they see every single year. So seeing that growing dividend, seeing some pretty good returns every year is definitely going to be a plus, and I'm very excited to see this smaller but nonetheless important factor of my portfolio growing over the next years to come. So as fast as that will come to the end of my portfolio. It is kind of nice to just be able to see these 5 stocks and know, okay, that's it. I don't have any more. I don't have anything else to stress about, and I can kind of hone down and really understand each one of these. It makes my life a lot easier not having too many investments, and I feel like that is a lesson that I am very happy that I learned early on. If you did enjoy this update, and if you do want to continue to see the videos that I produce, if you do enjoy my content, definitely consider subscribing. If you would like to see me post anything about a stock, if you'd like me to analyze a stock, talk about a stock, talk about things that I like to do or don't like to do, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. If you did like this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.